Calgary Flames general manager Craig Conroy has had to make some moves after Kevin Rooney unfortunately went down with an injury. A not so well known name has been recalled, and Flames fans may be surprised, but should also be excited. Plus, the Flames are already surprising everyone, and the AHL season kicks off tonight for the Calgary Wranglers. We're going to get into all that and more, but first I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I am Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family. And first thing we have is Conroy. You know, he's making moves. We've had an injury. Who did he bring up? Well, it is Costco time, and already people are going to know what that means. But if you don't worry, it's coming soon. So, for those that don't know, in the season opener, Kevin Rooney in the first period took a hit from JT Miller of the Vancouver Canucks, and it wasn't obviously a malicious hit, but it ended up injuring Rooney, and things didn't look too great for him, and we now know that Calgary Flames forward Kevin Rooney has been labeled day-to-day. That's what it initially was, but I'll give a little bit more of an update in a second here. But he was initially labeled day-to-day according to head coach Ryan Huska. Huska added that the 31-year-old is doing well after exiting Wednesday's 6-5 overtime win. Emphasize the win over the Vancouver Canucks. So now that he is officially out, it's not, as light as some had hoped. Well, the Flames have recalled forward Justin Kirkland from the Calgary Wranglers. If we take that one step further just to show why this has happened. So Steinberg here says that the Flames are recalling Justin Kirkland from the Wranglers. Kevin Rooney moved to the IR. So not great news for Rooney. We really hope he does recover quickly. Hopefully it won't be too bad, but he does, of course, have to miss the next few games by being put on the IR. We hope he has a swift recovery. But Justin Kirkland, not a household name yet within the sea of red. I mean, a lot of diehards will know who this is, and just NHL addicts will know who this guy is, but an interesting and almost surprising decision to bring him up. I know a lot of people wanted to see maybe some of the other young guys come up or wanted to see Coronado slot into the lineup. Not that that's out of the equation yet, but you'd kind of assume that Justin Kirkland, he is a center. Kevin Rooney, of course, is a center. Eye for an eye, bringing a center. So it makes sense here, but still a bit surprising. I think some people would have preferred to see a Sam Morton come up for sure, and a lot of people were excited about that. He's a great prospect. But no, the general manager here, Craigie, he decides to bring up Kirkland instead. Now, it can be a surprising move just because he maybe isn't, the most exciting player, but he's still pretty good. And to some, it'll be a huge surprise, and to some it won't, but it can still be exciting. This guy has played some NHL games in the past. I do not believe he actually has any points at the NHL level, but he brings experience, and he's been around a little bit longer. I think maybe the Flames here want Morton to develop a little bit more in the A, get comfortable there first before coming up. I mean, with the Wranglers and the Flames in the same city now, it isn't as difficult, but either way, Justin Kirkland, we'll see what he does if he does end up going in the lineup. At the time of recording, I have no idea if he will, and obviously the game isn't until tomorrow, but still, exciting stuff here. We obviously hope we wish Kirkland the best, and obviously wish Rooney a swift recovery as well. But interesting here that it is Costco time. Costco's brand. If you are not a member at Costco, I highly recommend it. You can get such good deals there, and Kirkland is their brand. So there you go. That is why it is Costco time. Let's move into the next chapter here and talk about how the Flames are surprising everyone. And I know this is interesting. It's only one game into this season, but we already have articles saying this. Are the sneaky Flames already proving skeptics wrong? This one comes from Steve McFarlane of the Hockey News. The Calgary Flames are considered underdogs, but a big character win on opening night was an eye-opener of sorts. So again, it's just one game, and look, it was an amazing comeback. Inject that into my veins. I will watch that every day if it were to continue. But I don't know. Let's pump the brakes a little bit here. I know it was surprising that they came back. The first period was what a lot of, casuals or non-Flames fans expected. But I guess they still did surprise everyone by coming back, and they surprised us too. But we also know how good this team can be. So a little bit interesting here. Let's continue the article. Everyone loves an underdog story. Even the Calgary Flames are going to fully embrace the lack of outside expectations this season and use it as motivation. Many veterans have spoken out and said that exact thing, especially Blake Coleman. Inside the locker room, there's only belief. Before their NHL season opener against the Vancouver Canucks, veteran leader Nazem Kadri mentioned the Flames have a sneaky amount of talent and told members of the media that the team shouldn't be taken lightly. So there you go again. Naz, he knows how good they are, and it's honestly, it's exciting. It's infectious, you know? People, it's like a virus, the excitement, and just the Flames knowing how good they are goes to the fans, and then the fans get super hopeful. I know it's like a broken record at this point. It happens all the time, but the Flames really are better than a lot of people do think. Would it be better to tank and get high draft picks and then build around an actual cornerstone stud? Probably, but it's still fun in the short term to support a team that's actually good. Game 1 overtime hero Connor Zary alluded to the same interview in his own post-game chat with Sportsnet on Wednesday night after the Flames came back from 3-0 and 4-1 deficits to beat the Canucks 6-5 in Vancouver in overtime. Zary's incredible game-ending goal, a dynamic toe drag, and deke-around defenseman Filip Hronek and goalie Artur Silovs kicked off an emotional celebration on the ice. It set a bit of a tone for the season. It was as if they made a statement to their fans that they will fight for every point this season, but also convince themselves of what can happen when they do. I know a lot of people will say any given Sunday, you know, any team can beat any team on a certain night in the NHL. And it is true. There are better teams. But the Flames, you know, they can actually compete this year, and they looked really, really good. And if the team starts to believe more, they get that momentum, they have that pure motivation from, you know, the lack of outside expectations, they could be way better than most people think and continue to surprise everyone. But once again, let's come back down to earth for just a second here. It's a long season, and one game doesn't mean all that much. But you can bet the Calgary Flames will remember and want to recreate the feeling they had at the end of their first win. Couldn't have wrapped it up any better there. Let's hope the Flames do continue to surprise people and we can be more satisfied with more W's. Now let's get into the last bit here and talk about the Wranglers Opener tonight. So the AHL season kicks off a little bit later than the NHL season, of course, because the rosters are finalized a little bit later because of the cuts in the NHL. But tonight is the first Wranglers game, and it should be super, super fun to see what they have to offer. If we take a quick look here, this is what the opening night roster is looking like. And as we know, there are a lot of guys who could very well see NHL minutes this season. If we quickly go through the forwards, we got Rory Cairns, William Stromgren, he could definitely come up sooner than later. Ilya Nikolaev, Dryden Hunt, Lucas Siona, Parker Bell, Clark Bishop, Alex Gallant, Jacob Pelche, of course, hopefully going to be a leader on that team now. Justin Kirkland, who is now on the Flames. David Sillier, I don't really know. I'm not too familiar with him, and I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry. Martin Firk, Walker Dewar, Jaden Lipinski, and Sam Morton. Great group of forwards there. Honestly, the Wranglers should be a good team again this season. In defense, we got Yoni Yermo, Artem Grushnikov, Jeremy Poirier, Hunter Brustevich, Ilya Solovyov, Jared Tenorti, Yan Kuznetsov, and Jonathan Asperot. That is a great decor. It's funny how the Flames have one of the weaker decors in the NHL, but their AHL decor looks absolutely unreal. It's kind of funny how we're always seem to be a good AHL team, but not the best in the NHL. And then the goalies, of course, Devin Cooley and Valtteri Ignatiu. Great goaltenders there. It's going to be really exciting to see what Cooley does, and if he plays really well, obviously that will translate to NHL games. So overall, just exciting. Hopefully that game goes very well tonight. Let's wrap up this video with the comment of the day. And this one here comes from yesterday's video, and it is from user Steven. And he had this to say, which was just really nice to read. He said, I met Weegar this past weekend, and honestly, he's such a great guy, and I'm proud to be a Flames fan. His quote, I'm going to get 20 goals again. Love the confidence from the guy. And that's a great little story there. I would be very lucky to meet MacKenzie Weegar, but he's on pace for 82 goals this year, let alone 20. But he does seem like a very good guy. Obviously wants to be here in Calgary and just is already such a fan favorite. We got nothing but love for Weegs. And Steven, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe, like what you saw here today, and have a wonderful rest of your day.